teaching, some of it controversial, I understand, I realize that things like that, it takes some time. People sometimes they gotta pray about things, they gotta study things out. I don't really expect everybody to jump up and say, "Oh yeah, all right, that's all right." I was having fun yesterday evening back here watching people. They were really, some of them were really trying to tear it apart while I had been speaking. Others were saying, "Well, you know, I see it." I told this one sister, she kept going. I said, "You know what? You're going to just keep it up until you're saying the same thing I am. I can see that happening." But I don't have no problem. I don't have a problem with not understanding or believing something differently than what I do. But I believe that we know that time is short. We don't have time to mess around, I'm telling you. The scripture says, when they say peace and safety, sudden destruction, sudden destruction, sudden destruction. So when you start hearing them talking about peace, safety, we're going to get peace, we're going to have safety, watch out. The 17th chapter of Revelation talks about a spiritual vacuum. It goes real good. It talks good and explains it real well. It tells us, and people that have spiritual eyes, they can see what it's talking about. It's talking about this universal church and all of her daughters, all of her offspring. Okay? I come out of the Catholic Church. That just might make you one of the offspring, you know? One of the daughters, which are whores also. But what I want to talk about is chapter 18, Revelation chapter 18. Revelation chapter 18 is talking about a great Babylon, the great city, that great place, nation, whatever you have, a great place. Full of people, full of sin. And I think that if you read it and you really think this thing through, you can see in your mind where this place might be. And it's going to be destroyed in 1 hour. And listen to me carefully. It's got Yahweh's people in it. Yahweh's people are there because he says, get out. Get out. All right. Brother Paul, read it as it's written there. Yeah. Chapter 18. Let's read this chapter. It's very important.
Put my eyes on. Gotta have.
I'm sorry, I thought you were ready.
Well, I had no idea.
I should have given you 3 minutes.
I'm being instant in season.
That's right.
All right. Revelation chapter 18. And after these things, I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lightened with his splendor. And he cried out mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the great is fallen, and is become the habitation of devils, and the hold of every foul spirit, and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird. For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth are grown rich through the abundance of her delicacies. I heard another voice from heaven saying, Come out of her, my people, so that you're not partakers of her sins, and so that you do not receive of her plagues, for her sins have reached to heaven, and Elohim has remembered her iniquities. Reward her even as she rewarded you, and double to her, double according to her works. In the cup which she has filled, fill to her double. How much has she extolled herself and lived deliciously? So much torment and sorrow give to her. For she said in her heart, I sit a queen, and I am no widow, and I shall see no sorrow. Well, therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she'll be utterly burned with fire, for strong is Yahweh Elohim who judges her. And the kings of the earth who've committed fornication and lived deliciously with her will bewail her and lament for her when they shall see the smoke of her burning, standing far off for the fear of her torment, saying, Ah, no, alas, alas, that great city Babylon, that mighty city, for in 1 hour is your judgment come. And the merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn over her, for no man buys their merchandise anymore. The merchandise of gold and silver and precious stones, and of pearls and fine linen, and purple and silk and scarlet, and all fine wood, and all manner of vessels made of ivory, and all manner of vessels made of the most precious wood, and of brass and iron and marble and cinnamon and odors and ointments and frankincense and wine and oil and fine flour and wheat and beasts and sheep and horses and chariots and slaves and souls of men. And the fruits that your soul lusted after are departed from you. And all things that were dainty and goodly are departed from you, and you'll find them no more at all. The merchants of these things, which were made rich by her, shall stand far off for fear of her torment, weeping and wailing and saying, Oh, that great city that was clothed in fine linen and purple and scarlet and decked out with gold and precious stones and pearls. For in 1 hour such great riches are come to nothing. And every shipmaster and all the company in ships and sailors and as many as trade by sea stood far off and cried when they saw the smoke of her burning, saying, What city is like this great city? And they cast dust on their heads and cried, weeping and wailing, saying, No, no, oh no, that great city in which were made rich all that had ships in the sea by reason of her costliness, for in 1 hour she's made desolate. Rejoice over her, heavens, and you holy apostles and prophets, for Elohim has avenged you on her. And a mighty angel took up a stone, like a great millstone, and he cast it into the sea, saying, In this manner with violence shall that great city Babylon be thrown down, and shall be found no more at all. And the sound of harpers and musicians, and of pipers and trumpeters shall be heard no more at all in you, and no craftsman of whatsoever craft he may be shall be found any more in you. And the sound of a millstone shall be heard no more at all in you, and the light of a menorah shall shine no more at all in you, and the voice of the bridegroom and of the bride shall be heard no more at all in you. For your merchants were the great men of the earth, for by your sorceries were all nations deceived, and in her was found the blood of prophets, and of most holy ones, and of all that were slain upon the earth.
This describes a place. I know it says city, it's not talking about a city. It's talking about a giant place where all the merchants of the earth sell their goods. Now, I'll make it no secret that I believe it's the United States. It's hard to find anything here in the United States that was not just made. You can look at anything. Made in China. This was made in Mexico. What do you eat? Well, here, this was made. This was grown in Honduras. Whatever. Everything. No matter what. Where'd your shoes come from? Where'd your clothes that you're wearing come from?
California.
Where's your musical? That I was looking at. I think that clarinet there it's a Japanese.
That's an old player though.
Yeah, and I don't play it well. I haven't played it in a long time. I thought it'd be fun to try. You know, but Shauna playing a song there, key of A. Key of A is 3 sharps. Okay, I'm playing a B flat clarinet that's 2 flats. Now there's only 7 notes on the board. You know that, don't you? A, B, C, D, E, F, G. There's no H, I, J, K note. There's only 7 notes. And when I have to transpose 5 of those 7 notes every time I play a note, you might understand what I'm getting into. Why it sounds so bad sometimes.
Sounded good to me.
Sounded good.
But I enjoyed it. I thought I didn't have anybody but friends here. And why not sit there and play around with it a little bit, you understand? But I'm pretty much sure it's a Yamaha. I was looking on there for the name. But Yamaha makes one of the best clarinets made. Back when I was a child, the Buffet was the one that everybody wanted, you know? The Buffet was made, actually it was an American clarinet with a French name. But that's the one everybody wanted, they did. Today, you want a keyboard, one of your best keyboards is a Yamaha. No matter what, you have to understand that all the world sells their goods here. They sell it other places too, but this is the main receiving point. This was the richest country in the world. Other people measure their money by ours. Same as Canadians. How much is your money worth? Well, it's only worth 80% of a dollar. You know? And your dollar is worthless. Boy, you know, you better be glad people don't figure that out. Right now, you can take a dollar and you can go and give it to some people will give it to you for it. They'll give you something for it. But all that dollar is a promissory note. I can write out a promissory note right here. It's every bit as good as the one that you got in your billfold. The only difference is people don't want mine.
They don't trust yours.
They don't trust mine. They trust this group of people who are not government, have absolutely nothing to do with the government, but they got a name.
U.S. Treasury.
Well,
Oh, no,
Federal
no,
Reserve.
that is-
Federal Reserve, that's.